What's going on, people? Today, I will be reviewing Captain Marvel. Coming up for you guys next. So, Captain Marvel was directed by Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck, and it stars Brie Larson, Sam Jackson, Ben Mendelsohn, and Jude Law. Now, this is a pretty important movie for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it's the movie that is leading up to Avengers Endgame, and there are some expectations specifically for this movie just because it is the introduction to Captain Marvel, and we all know by now that she is going to be a major player in Endgame. So, with that all being said, I am also going to say that, we have all heard all of the controversy about this movie, and I actually, I didn't keep up with it, to be quite honest with you. I heard a little bit of it, and I can't even give you an honest opinion just because of the fact that I've been staying so far away from it. So what I will say is that I don't fall on either side of the fence. And as far as the whole Rotten Tomatoes score thing, look, I don't even really put that much weight into the Rotten Tomatoes score. Just go see the movie, and if you like it, you like it, and if you didn't, you didn't. And it is really as simple as that. But you aren't here to talk about that. You're here to listen to me talk about Captain Marvel. And what I will just say is this movie is pretty mixed, to be quite honest with you, but there are definitely a lot of positives here. And the first one that I'm going to come up with right off the bat is the way that this movie really doesn't hold your hand through a lot of its world building. This movie has a whole new world that it needs to create for its viewer and introduce to its viewer. And I feel like it would be easy to have expository dialogue or just information dumps where it introduces you to its world in a very unnatural way. And this movie does not do that. This movie actually introduces you to Captain Marvel and the world that she lives in a very naturalistic way. They establish the fact that she is a Kree and that they come from a long line of warriors, and dominant ones at that. And it gets you right into the thick of things in this movie, putting her right into her training to become one of those warriors with Jude Law's character of Young Rog. And I just really, I liked the world building towards the beginning half of this movie. And in the matter of fact, besides the cinematography, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, really liked the whole first half of this movie before she ends up really on Earth. And Brie Larson, she definitely, she had a lot riding on this, and without talking a lot of the politics about what she said, what she didn't say, and all this, that, and the other thing, I will just say that for me, personally, in this movie, she did come across pretty wooden at times. I like her more than other people do, because I have heard people really say that she is wrong for this role. I don't feel like she's wrong for this role. I feel like the way that this movie is structured really causes her to be kind of wooden in her performance. She is an alien Kree that crash lands on Earth, and because of that, she's a fish out of water, and you get a kind of fish out of water story that kind of weaves its way in here, and I really feel like she had a hard time showing a lot of warmth in this movie and finding the warmth with her character. And along with that, I feel like the movie actually doesn't really allow her the scenes that she needs to find that warmth. And in the small amount of scenes that actually, they give her, I feel like she comes to play. But that is way later to the third half of the film, and it just takes a real long time to get there. And so what you end up with is a performance that from time to time displays some comedy, but even the comedy that she does display is just in such a wooden way, you have a hard time connecting with her at times. I didn't have as much of a problem as some people are having with it, but it was a problem nonetheless. And I won't spoil why she crash lands on Earth. We all know that she actually does. It's in the trailer. But what is also in the trailer and not a spoiler is that this is actually the 90s, and she ends up teaming up with a younger Nick Fury or Sam Jackson. And I love him in this movie. This, might be my favorite Nick Fury performance, just because of just how loose he is with it. She is given such a wooden performance, and he is just really just having a good time with this movie. He's not the stoic character that Nick Fury would be. He's not the stoic character that Nick Fury would be. He is more of a jokey character. He has the one-liners. He has the quips here, and it is really cool to see a younger Nick Fury that has a lot of has a lot of sense of humor. And the CGI to make Sam Jackson young is unbelievable here, and I just cannot overstate that enough. I swear, this CGI is like next level de-aging. It is unbelievable. And I like their interplay with each other. When Brie Larson is with Sam Jackson and they have their red-a-tat going on there, back and forth, bantering back together, I feel like this movie is really at its best. And Brie Larson is at her best with him. They play off of each other really well, and it is a high point of this movie, and they are right to put them together so much off screen and in interviews at the Academy Awards and all of that stuff, because these two are just really good together. Ben Mendelsohn's character of Talos is actually a really cool villain. He has a lot of the same quips that Sam Jackson has, and those two definitely go back and forth with each other as well, and that is great to see. And just to see the Skrulls, that is who Talos is, and that is his race. To be a Marvel fan and to see the Skrulls finally on the big screen, it's cool. But they just don't use them particularly well. You don't really get to see them shapeshift that often. When you do get to see them shapeshift, it's pretty cool, but it just doesn't happen as often as you would like it to happen. So there are a decent amount of things that I like about this movie, but unfortunately, there are also a decent amount of things that I didn't like about the movie, and, the comedy here is 50-50. A lot of it works, but a lot of it feels forced as well. And, at times it just happens in the same scene. And it just makes for a very uneven movie. And then when you have plot twists that are so intertwined with who Carol Danvers is and her backstory, it just makes it muddled. And it really, it takes a while to get to Carol Danvers and Captain Marvel's backstory. It's really a mystery throughout the first two halves of the movie. And because of that, I feel like that is a big reason why I didn't connect to her as much as some other Marvel characters. And I was looking for more from her character, and unfortunately, I just got it way too late into this movie. But the action scenes here are also very subpar, and that is something that I did not expect, but I feel like that has a lot to do with the cinematography here that has weird black levels. It's just hard to see in this movie, and I didn't expect that at all. But there are just entire action scenes that you barely can tell what is going on because it is so damn dark on the screen, and it is very confusing why they made this choice. And yeah, that was just a weird thing that I noticed about the movie. But one of the biggest things that is wrong with this movie is that it is just really bland, and unfortunately it just needed to be more than that. It doesn't leave you curious to know more about the Kree or the Skrulls or Captain Marvel. It just really, when the movie is done, you just get up and you go about your day, and maybe it sticks with you, maybe it doesn't. But I definitely feel like it doesn't leave you wanting more from this. At least it didn't for me, and I just feel like it's just because of the fact that this is so average that I didn't really expect that from a Marvel film, to be quite honest with you. I feel like generally they're better than that. And for that, I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. This is not a perfect movie by any stretch of the imagination, but I did have some fun with it. And a lot of my complaints actually came from me thinking about this after I left the movie, because while I was watching it, I had a pretty decent, good time. And yeah, that's just how I felt about this one. But coming up next, I do still have to talk about Prince of Darkness and Creed 2. I have those coming up to you real damn soon. So if you're excited about all of that, subscribe and comment down below. Let me know about anything that you guys want me to review. I am happy to actually pick it up for you. And as always, thank you for watching my videos. You guys are awesome. I don't need to say it because you know it, and I will see all of you next time.